Starts now.
Welcome to Newswatch 12 Weekends. I'm Lily Zoller. One man was killed in a shooting outside Beloit Memorial High School where players were playing a basketball game, authorities said. Beloit police say the man was taken to a local hospital Saturday night where he died. It's unclear whether the shooting happened during the game or after the game between Beloit and La Follette High School in Madison. The school was put on a brief lockdown following the game, at which time the players from visiting La Follette were escorted onto their bus and returned home. This was the second homicide that happened in Beloit on Saturday and the third in the city in less than 4 days. It comes after the body of a woman who was allegedly stabbed to death was found yesterday morning, and a 31-year-old woman was killed in a domestic violence incident on Wednesday. Meanwhile, a little further away from Wisconsin, North Korea says it test-fired an intermediate missile, the Hwasong-12, today, local time. It appears to be the most powerful missile it has tested since President Joe Biden took office. The test-fire launch was conducted to inspect the ground-to-ground intermediate-range ballistic missile and to verify the overall accuracy of this weapon system. That's according to KCNA's reporting. Reports said the test fire was conducted in consideration of the safety of neighboring countries using the maximum elevation launch system. The report added that, quote, it confirmed the accuracy, safety, and operational effectiveness of the Hwasong-12 type weapon system in production. The launch is seen as reviving an old playbook in brinksmanship to wrest concessions from Washington and North Korea's neighbors. North Korea's 7th missile test this month indicates its intent to pressure the U.S. as nuclear talks remain stalled and its economy broken by decades of mismanagement and crippling U.S.-led sanctions. Well, Andy, it certainly has felt a little warmer out, but still really cold. What is next in terms of what feels like kind of a wild weather ride?
Yeah, Lily, we're going to be a little bit on both spectrums there. We're going to have more warm and then sharp cold return to the forecast. But for today, looking at those daytime highs, we had a lot of low 20s, middle 20s, and even near freezing temperatures down towards the Fox Valley. We'll see more of this develop in the next day up in the Northwoods, so enjoy that bit of a warm up. Right now, current conditions across the region are in some of those upper single digits to even some 20 still, seeing those in parts of southern Wisconsin. So it makes a big deal where those clouds have cleared on out. We will see kind of a little bit of a cloud somewhat overcast skies tonight to partly cloudy skies, so that'll be kind of give or take throughout the rest of the night to see where those temperatures ultimately fall. For the next 2 days, we're going to be having those temperatures on the increase, 27 for a high on Monday, and then topping out on Tuesday with highs in the low 30s, and then it's going to be that sharp drop off from Wednesday, getting to those highs in the low teens to even some single digit highs later on in the forecast. So looking ahead here, about a foot of snow, give or take a few inches in the Northwoods, and what we see right now is what we get. Not much in the way of snowfall in the forecast. Details on that coming up in just a bit. Lily?
Thanks, Andy. Now for some news around our area. The Bob and Rocco Gun Show made its way back to Wausau over the weekend, bringing a wide variety of firearms for enthusiasts to buy. The show took place at Central Wisconsin Convention and Expo Center. Organizers for the Traveling Gun Convention say by bringing more than 75 vendors to each event, the shows offer many options for buyers, having pretty much anything fire alarm related for everyone. The Bob and Rocco Gun Shows are put on by the Take a Child Hunting Foundation, a 501c charitable organization which strives to raise funds for youth and disabled veterans. Also in our neck of the woods, many people toured the Hodag Solar Farm project on Friday. This includes Wisconsin Public Service representatives along with local officials. These individuals gathered at the newly constructed Hodag Solar Farm located just south of Rhinelander. The Hodag Solar Field is the region's first large-scale solar facility, and WPS company officials say that the large facility will have a massive impact on Northwoods customers.
This will benefit homes and businesses in this area. It's another source of clean energy that they'll be able to use for electricity in their homes to power their homes and businesses.
Workers spent more than a year completing this project. The solar project adds to its goals set by WPS to make more solar, wind, and battery shortages in Wisconsin in the coming years. And the good news for Wisconsin doesn't stop there, as port officials say this year's shipping season was a success. The Port of Green Bay closed earlier this month, and total cargo shipments into and out of the port reached nearly 2 million tons, a 3% increase over a year ago. The port director credits changing types of commodities coming through the ports for the increase. As coal consumption decreases, for example, port staff have been successful at replacing it with limestone and cement. Those commodities, along with petroleum, are the ones that increased this season. Officials reported that 178 ships visited the port during the 2021 season. The port's service area stretches from the south of Sheboygan all the way to Wausau and up through the Upper Peninsula. The next shipping season is expected to begin in mid-March to early April, depending on the weather and ice cover on the lakes and in the bay. And while we're talking about success in the Badger State, it's worth mentioning that the national recognition it got was actually apparent this weekend. Willem Dafoe made his Saturday Night Live debut and let his Wisconsin roots shine during his monologue. Dafoe is best known for his role in the Spider-Man films, but before that, he grew up in Appleton and even went to college in Milwaukee. The actor made this known as he talked about his childhood and followed with a skit about a couple from Wisconsin. Dafoe went on to make use of his Wisconsin accent and even used the most Wisconsin term that I can think of, bubbler. Well, coming up after the break, a look at your upcoming forecast and an update on the historic conditions that folks on the East Coast are still facing. That's coming up in just a few moments.
Supply chain backlogs, inflation, agitation.
Here's an idea. If we make things here in America, supply chain issues won't be a thing anymore. That's exactly how we built the Bucks Arena, by having 80% of the materials come from Wisconsin. We did the same by paying higher wages. That's how you know, as your senator, I'll get things done. Raising people's wages, make things in America finally stand up to China. I'm Alex Lazary, and I approve this message because it's time to put more money in the pockets of working people.
When the owners of Kelk Land Improvement and Kelk Septic Service of Woodruff want the forecast for the Northwoods, they go to WJFW.com and check their hometown weather.
Available 24/7 at WJFW.com.
Hi, I'm Brian from Creative Granite. When I need the forecast for Minocqua, I go to WJFW.com for my hometown forecast.
Your hometown weather, available 24/7 at WJFW.com.
Bam! My accident? My accident happened in a second.
My settlement? That's taking a really long time.
If you've been injured in an accident and need money now while your case settles, call Oasis today.
Better days start today. Get the cash you need with Oasis.
There's no risk. If you lose your case, you don't have to pay Oasis back, ever. Applying for Oasis Express Cash is easy and takes 3 minutes. We'll work with your attorney, and if you're approved, get you $500 to $100,000 in as little as 24 hours. Use it for bills, rent, whatever you need help with. So call now or go online to apply. Remember, there's no risk to you.
Better days.
Better days.
Better days start today.
Oasis Financial, because life moves faster than your case.
Call now. Once approved, get your money in as little as 24 hours. 1-800-745-9991.
Welcome on back. I wish I was giving you a little more snowfall on our last forecast together. Unfortunately, we're just going to be looking at a couple of spotty flurries coming up for this week, not much in the way of accumulating snow showers. So outside, we have those mostly to partly cloudy skies, a couple of those flurries that will develop throughout the overnight hours, along with low temperatures bottoming out into the upper single digits, having us forecasted with a low of 8 here in Rhinelander. And again, holding up with the clouds overnight, a couple breaks in those as the night does go on. Now, zooming ahead into our Monday morning, still holding on to the clouds. I do think it'll be another sort of gray day, maybe a little bit of sunshine here and there. Otherwise, we will be having a few of those flurries into the morning hours. Can't rule them out, but they won't really be that impactful for your day. Now, I also have our winds on here, wind gusts on the way. You will notice this will be a south breeze coming on up for the next day and getting a bit breezy out there. Sustained winds near 5 to 15 miles an hour, and then wind gusts throughout the day will continue to be on the rise, getting into the 20s into the afternoon. Here we are by 1:30, and then then there's a little bit of that peekaboo game going on with the sun. The clouds stay steady into overnight. That's going to be ahead of our next system on the way. That is going to be staying well to our north, not really impacting us too much other than giving us some breezy winds into our Tuesday. And you will also notice as the system moves on through, we have a shift in our wind pattern. Winds coming in out of the southwest will transition to more out of the northwest. So that's going to be helping out with our temperature spread coming up for this week, bringing in the warm through Tuesday and then cutting it off, getting colder as we get into later parts of the week. And then there's that system. There it goes along with a cold front well to our south throughout the entire state of Wisconsin, well to our south by Tuesday in the evening. And behind that is going to be a whole lot of cold and dry air. So we'll have surface high pressure starting to work into the area, and this thing will continue to shove that cold front well off to our southeast. Now looking at our temperatures on the way, there's that bit of a warm up with those breezy winds coming in from the south, 27 for a high to 32 even for our Tuesday. After that, it's a sharp drop off down to 12 for a high on Wednesday. That's going to be after that cold front passes, getting that high pressure working into the region, and we get even colder after Wednesday, looking for highs to slip into these single digits. Those will be the temperatures that we're feeling for tonight. Those will be our daytime highs by the time that we do end the week. And like I said, we're going to be having a rather moisture-starved forecast. So looking at that precipitation outlook, we're looking from February 5th until the 9th and seeing a big blob of orange across our region. A little bit of a sliver into parts of northern Wisconsin, getting that gray shade. That's going to be near average precipitation or even below average. And we're not alone. The entire Great Lakes region looking to stay more on the dry side than average for getting into the middle parts of February, along with much of the continental United States. So we're not alone in this dry spell that's going to be on the way. All right, now to check in with our current temperatures. Seeing some of us slipping near zero right now along the UP border. Otherwise, some teens all the way down to central Wisconsin. And here's our warmer temperatures on the way, seeing those still off to our southwest. Remember, we're bringing in that warmer air in the next couple of days with that breezy south wind. That's going to help pump us up into the 20s to the low 30s by Tuesday. So for tonight, we're down near 7 under partly cloudy skies. Winds, those will hardly be a factor. They'll be pretty still throughout overnight, so enjoy the kind of stillness through the air, because Monday we're ramping up the wind. That's going to be with that south breeze felt near 5 to 15. Wind gusts getting in the neighborhood of 25 miles an hour and even more breezy into the overnight. So expect that on the way. And then also those overnight temperatures, they stay pretty steady too. We do have those lows bottoming out into those low 20s. Again, with that breezy wind felt well into Tuesday. After that, that sharp cutoff getting to those colder temperatures into later parts of the week. And chances for snow in the forecast, nope, don't see lots of those. We are running dry all the way through next week. Lily?
Thanks, Andy. Now for an update on the weather that other parts of the country is facing, as the worst of the nor'easter that blanketed much of the Northeast this weekend is gone, but its aftermath remains. Forecasters say some areas will have wind gusts as high as 40 miles an hour and bone-chilling temperatures. John Lawrence reports.
Millions of people from the mid-Atlantic to the Northeast are digging out from a major winter storm that brought whiteout conditions, coastal flooding, and hurricane-force gusts.
We came outside and the wind was so bad we almost got blown away.
And while plow crews were out and about, in some spots, the snow was still too much for drivers.
On the Long Expressway, when you get off the tunnel, you couldn't make it up. Halfway up, a lot of cars just had to turn around.
It was a lesson some people had to learn firsthand.
I was just dropping my sister off literally around the corner. I came to look at the water because it's all frozen over, so I had to look, and then I got stuck.
Boston, Philadelphia, and New York were among the cities that set new snowfall records this weekend. Some states, including Maine, could see up to 2 feet of snow from this storm.
This is so fun. This is such a good storm. Being able to get outside in the weather like this, being able to snowshoe, ski, it's one of the things I love most about living in Maine. Oh, no!
While some made the most of this wintry blast,
today it's a big winter day. I'm having fun.
For others, it was business as usual.
We are open right now, yes. We figured a lot of people couldn't get out of their house, so we made an effort to come out and get the place open so we could serve the community.
I'm John Lawrence reporting.
More than 3,500 flights around the U.S. were canceled Saturday, and more than 1,400 more canceled as of midday today. That's according to FlightAware. And there's another area cleaning up after some gnarly weather too, as hundreds of families in Colorado are still picking up the pieces after the devastating Marshall Fire. While they may have praised the heroism of firefighters who responded to the blaze, 2 teenagers also need to be recognized. Luis De Leon has the story of 2 high school students who saved their aunt and uncle's pets.
Here now the temperature's kind of dropping a little.
Going back,
The grill survived and our pots, that's all.
you take in the little things
That my trees didn't burn. I just planted these trees.
and better times.
Have it when I set tile so I could redo the baseboard in the bathroom.
Not much left of Carla and Chip Bennett's home in Superior after the Marshall Fire.
Put it in my bucket over here.
They have the essentials, like their pets, including Rocky.
Yes, sir. This is our puppy they saved.
Saved, but not by Chip and Carla.
Not much time to grab anything else we were planning to. So.
But by their nephews, Colin and Nick Folsom. Colin, 16, Nick, 15.
And our dad called us to tell us that there was a fire behind Sagamore and that we just get down here to get all the pets and stuff.
No time wasted.
Oh, I am recording this.
Their aunt and uncle weren't home, but Nick and Colin didn't live far.
We just rounded up, went inside, found all the pets that were there.
Yeah, the fire's coming across the field, and we knew it wouldn't be too long before it got to us.
Even with the fire approaching, they grabbed important documents, a work iPad, and tried to get even more.
Just trying to pull the computer out to get itself. Maybe 2 minutes goes by and Colin was yelling at me, hey, we gotta go, like now.
Just go. Leaving, just in time.
Oh my God.
With 3 cats and Rocky in the back.
This is McCaslin.
Sadly, 1 cat couldn't make it out with them. But their aunt and uncle
They took it upon themselves.
say age didn't play a role in what they could do in a situation like this.
I mean, that's the amazing part. The maturity, the ability to just step into it and not just sleep in, like they cared.
In my mind, they're mature beyond their years. I mean, can never thank them enough.
Right.
Absolutely.
Well, today was an exciting day for basketball fans here in the Dairy State, as the Wisconsin Badgers and the Milwaukee Bucks both had big games. We'll tell you about those games and more after the break.
You wouldn't pour OJ this way. And you don't have to pour paint this way either. Try Dutch Boy Platinum Plus paint in the twist and pour container with a built-in spout. Easy to hold, open, and pour. Only at Menards. Dutch Boy paints make transforming your world easy.
The snowmobile clubs of Oneida County and Vilas County invite you to visit the Northwoods this winter for a fun and safe snowmobiling season. Follow these simple guidelines for a great trip. Stay on marked trails on land and when crossing lakes. Always maintain a safe speed. Remember, 55 miles per hour is the nighttime speed limit on all Wisconsin trails. Alcohol and snowmobiling don't mix. Never ride alone. A snowmobiling safety certificate is required for all riders born after January 1, 1985. Stay safe and enjoy the ride in Oneida County and Vilas County this winter.
Does this sound familiar? You make the minimum payment, but the balance is still the same. You make a payment a few days late. Here come the late fees, past due notice, and the collection calls. We understand dealing with debt problems is not easy. It is stressful and hard, not only for you, but for your loved ones, your family. You're not alone, but you must understand debt problems only get worse unless you take action. If you owe more than $10,000 in credit card debt, medical bills, or other unsecured debt, please take a minute and call the number on the screen. Learn about programs that have helped thousands of people get out of debt. Reduce your monthly payments, cut interest, and even settle your debt for a lot less than you owe. Save thousands. Get your life back. Call the number on the screen now. It's a free call, free information, and most importantly, you will have options. Remember, waiting will not make the problem go away. Call us. Our lines are now open.
Welcome back, and to the hardwood we go. In a border battle matinee, the 11th ranked Wisconsin beat Minnesota 66-60. Sophomore star Johnny Davis stole the show again. He finished with a double-double and scored the game's final 6 points to bring home the win.
He's the best player in the country, so good. I don't know if it's a safety net or just being really good at basketball, but we'll take it. So when the game's on the line, we have a lot of confidence in him to make the right decision, and whether it's to go get a bucket or find somebody, you're good to stop.
With the win, the Badgers stay tied with Illinois atop the Big Ten standings at 8-2. They've won 9 out of their last 10 games, and it's taken more than just Davis.
We just continue to get contributions from wherever we can. Whoever is, like I told the team after the game, you never know when your number is going to get called. Some days it gets called a little bit more than others.
Wisconsin has now won 2 straight following its loss against Michigan State. The Badgers play Illinois on Tuesday with first place in the Big Ten on the line. Now heading east on I-94 to Milwaukee, the Bucks hosted the Nuggets, but they forgot to show up. Here's Giannis draining a long 3. Denver led by 8 at the half. But then came the avalanche. The Nuggets poured it on in the second half to win 136-100. Giannis led Milwaukee with 29 points, but he didn't get much help from any of his teammates. 5 Nuggets, including Nikola Jokic and Aaron Gordon, scored in the double figures. The Bucks had won 4 of their last 5, but this loss drops them 31-21. They're still well in contention for a top seed in the Eastern Conference, though. Milwaukee wraps up its 3-game homestand on Tuesday against the Wizards. Super Bowl 56 is set after a wild championship on Sunday. Early in the day, Cincinnati shocked Kansas City on the road to win the AFC. The Bengals trailed by 18 but forced overtime, where rookie Evan McPherson sealed the deal. It's their first Super Bowl appearance in 33 years. And on the other side, the Rams also came from behind to beat San Francisco. Once down 17-7, a late field goal by Matt Gay put them up 20-17. Their defense then intercepted Jimmy Garoppolo on the next drive to seal it. Joe Burrow and Matthew Stafford will each make their first Super Bowl appearance. For the second straight year, a team will play the big game in its home stadium. The Super Bowl is February 13th on NBC. Well, one popular car company is recalling more than 410,000 vehicles. After the break, we'll tell you why and what you're entitled to if you have one of those recalled cars. That story is coming up in just a few moments.
Hold on, I'm coming. You didn't tell me you were getting McDonald's.
Enjoy a sausage McMuffin or sausage biscuit with hash browns. Each bundle just $2.
What do teachers do? They make reading fun. They put science in your hands. They bring history to life. They show math has real application. Teachers do so much more than teach. They encourage, listen, inspire, and so much more, giving kids a safe space to challenge themselves and help them grow.
Teachers are truly unsung heroes, building up the next generation of leaders. We should celebrate them. I'm Dan Hagan.
And I'm Jeff Weller with Newswatch 12. We are excited to announce it's time to nominate teachers for the Golden Apple Awards, proudly presented by the Rhinelander Partners in Education.
You can nominate those teachers by going to RhinelanderPie.com. Nominations are due by February 28th.
So let's celebrate teachers who recognize all of what they do.
Attention homeowners. Are you behind on your mortgage payments? Is the bank threatening to take your home? Is your home worth less than you owe? If you answered yes to any of these questions, then you need to call this number right now. We are the Mortgage Defense Line, and we can help you save your home. Through this TV offer, you can take advantage of special programs designed for people just like you. We've already helped thousands of people save their homes. It doesn't matter if you've been turned down before. We can help you too. Call right now for your free no-cost evaluation. It won't cost you anything to find out if we can help you. We are the Mortgage Defense Line, and we can help you save your home. Don't wait. Call right now.
Call 1-800-970-8640. That's 1-800-970-8640. Again, 1-800-970-8640. That's 1-800-970-8640.
Tune in as Chief Meteorologist Jeff Weller brings you the most up-to-the-minute weather data weeknights at 5, 6, and 10. WJFW utilizes industry-leading technology to provide you with an accurate Northwoods weather forecast.
Welcome back. Now for some news that you can use. Kia is recalling more than 410,000 cars in the U.S. because of possible airbag issues. The recall includes a number of Ford, Sedona, and Soul models. The National Highway Traffic Safety Administration says airbag computer covers could possibly damage the electrical circuit. That could result in the airbags not being activated in a crash. Owners can contact Kia's customer service line for more information. Drivers can also take their car to their local dealer who will inspect the airbag control unit and either update the software or replace it at no cost. And as the 2021 tax season begins, millions of Americans are still waiting for the IRS to process their 2020 tax returns. Now, members of Congress are raising concerns and asking the IRS for answers. WRC consumer reporter Susan Hogan has more on what you need to know if you're still waiting on your refund and mistakes to avoid making during this tax season.
Well, right now, there are approximately 6 million unprocessed tax returns from 2020, and the IRS isn't sugarcoating the massive challenges the agency faces going into the tax season. In an attempt to understand the ongoing issues at the IRS and, more importantly, what the agency is doing to fix them, Virginia Senator Mark Warner sent a letter to the Treasury Secretary and the IRS Commissioner asking them what formal plans they've put into place to address this enormous backlog of tax refunds.
I'm continuing to try to press the IRS, get those folks back to work in the regional offices all over the country, because nothing makes a taxpayer, nothing makes a citizen more angry than not being able to get a meeting scheduled with the IRS or get somebody to answer the phone.
Bottom line, it's more important than ever before that when you are filing this year, you do it early and avoid common mistakes filers make that can delay your tax refund. So check your returns for errors. Half of the problems are from taxpayers not providing accurate information, which triggers a manual review. Paper is kryptonite, according to the IRS, so file electronically if you can and use direct deposit. If you're missing paperwork, download your free IRS transcript to verify forms and numbers from your previous return and double check your address. Putting in the wrong house or apartment number may trigger the IRS to flag you for identity theft. Further delays your return from being processed. And let's talk about deadlines. Now, most taxpayers face an April 18th deadline this year due to Emancipation Day holiday in D.C. falling on the 15th. Taxpayers in Massachusetts and Maine will have an April 19th deadline due to Patriots Day, and disaster victims have later filing deadlines in some locations. For NBC News, I'm Susan Hogan.
In other money news, wages are on the rise in the U.S., but so is inflation. That's the bottom line from the new Bureau of Labor Statistics data. Compensation is up about 4% between December of 2020 and 2021, but inflation wipes out those gains. Factoring in rising costs, paychecks took almost a 2% hit. And that's not the only thing that might hurt your pocketbook, as it might cost more to heat your home soon. Natural gas futures are rising ahead of a blizzard that could hit 10 states. All that snow and cold could likely lead to the use of more home heating. Most people rely on natural gas for that. So, March futures are up more than 25% this week.
I think there are a lot of benefits to schooling our children from home. We get to spend a lot of time with them, and there are eureka moments like seeing them walk for the first time, or they figure something out and they're so excited about it.
The RVA really does work with each family to individualize each child's education to help them really succeed.
This is like the best thing in Wisconsin in terms of school.
For us, the RVA was our first and best choice of schools to choose.
We love the RVA.
Moments of life are special, and suffering from diabetes should not get in the way. US Med's mission is to find ways to make your diabetes more manageable and more comfortable. You deserve to enjoy life without the constant reminder of living with diabetes. If you monitor with 4 or more tests per day, inject insulin 3 or more times per day, or use an insulin pump, you may qualify to receive a continuous glucose monitor, the latest in diabetes technology. A continuous glucose monitor provides blood sugar readings without uncomfortable finger sticks and alerts you real time to potentially harmful spikes in your blood sugar levels. US Med is an approved provider for Medicare in over 500 private insurance companies. If you're a caretaker for someone who suffers from diabetes or have diabetes yourself and meet these conditions, please call our diabetic specialist now to see if you qualify for your continuous glucose monitor.
If you're living with diabetes and using insulin, you know the pain of pricking your fingers over and over again. By wearing a small remote device called a continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, you can reduce the pain of pricking your fingers right away. If you're testing your blood sugar 4 more times per day, injecting insulin 3 or more times per day, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetic Health Hotline today and learn about the latest CGM technology. Not only can a CGM immediately reduce pain, it's accurate, easy to use, and helps you make better diabetes treatment decisions. And if you have Medicare, you can get a new CGM at little or no out-of-pocket cost. We'll also provide free shipping of your new CGM, and we'll bill your insurance company for you. If you are testing your blood sugar 4 more times per day and injecting insulin 3 or more times per day, or using an insulin pump, call now and learn how to receive your new continuous glucose monitor at little or no out-of-pocket cost.
Welcome on back. Before we get into our final look at the forecast, I just want to say it's been a pleasure, Northwoods. Thank you for inviting me back to my home state. It's been a pleasure to really get to know an area of the state that I grew up in that I haven't really been too much to before. So this has been a great time up here, Lily, and I just can't thank you all enough for inviting me into your homes for this past year and a half. So, you know, we're saying goodbye on air, yes, but you can always stay in touch with me on social media. I'd love to stay in touch and, you know, hear all the things and doings going on up here. So thank you all so much. And Lily, I just got to say it's been a pleasure getting on the show with you and, you know, seeing you start up and grow into this role and all. And I'm excited to see what comes for you. So
well,
it's been a
thank you,
pleasure.
Andy. Yes, as you know, you've gotten to get to know this area, and we've all gotten to get to know you, which I think that I speak on behalf of many when I say that it's been awesome. So we wish you the best of luck, and we're really excited to follow you along with your next journey.
Thank you so much, Ali. Well, that's all we have for news around the Northwoods. And again, thank you so much all. It's been a pleasure, and you have a good night. We'll see you back in the morning.